Hello, Heart of Mary. Hey, so in Matthew chapter 19, verse 19, it says, "Honor your father and mother. Also, you shall love your neighbor as yourself." And in Mark chapter 12, verse 31, it says, "The second is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." And here's another one, the commandments. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not murder. You shall not steal. You shall not covet. And any other commandments are summed up in this word: love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself is definitely something that comes up during our homilies. Our priests talk about it often because it's a very important commandment. It's not a suggestion. What does love your neighbor look like to you? I've really pondered on this because actually I wasn't able to put this post up yesterday because I was having technical difficulties with my phone. And so in thinking of that statement, love your neighbor, how does that look for me? And how does that look for you? A month ago, my husband was helping me with some things with my car, and I had something fall underneath my car and asked him to come and help me. He's the one who can get down on the ground and pop up super easily. So he was laying on the ground trying to reach whatever it was that fell, and all of a sudden my neighbor, 2 doors up, came running down the street and said, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And apparently his daughter had driven by and she saw him laying on the ground and she thought that something had happened to him. And the way that my neighbor rushed back to help him was so incredible for our hearts because we said, look at how he truly cares for us. Until you're in a situation where someone can really dig in and help, sometimes you're just not quite sure how someone cares about you. It is a great relief to know we have neighbors like that. I have a good friend who was traveling for the holiday, and she and her husband were on the road, and as they got further north, they were finding themselves in really bad weather. So not only was the bad weather something that was a little nerve-wracking, but also they were road raged by someone on the freeway as well. And I guess there was some type of obviously a moving in and out of traffic. And this person who was road raging them sheerly put terror within them. And this friend of mine reached out to everyone on Facebook saying, I can't even believe this. You know, it's unbelievable to think that we're treating each other this way. And I remember writing to her that until we really start valuing life, we're not going to begin to start caring for each other again. There's a time in my life when my family virtually up and moved away. They felt like where we'd been living had become dangerous, and they decided to go somewhere more remote where they felt safer. And as it turned out, myself and my youngest sister both stayed behind. And during that time, I actually joined a Bible study at church. I had young kids at the time, and I had this group of women. We would all fill this one table, became such great friends, great neighbors to each other, really watching out and taking care of each other. And I'm sharing this with you because I am still doing a study with these friends. Obviously, all those years in between, we didn't keep things going, but in the last couple months have started up doing these studies together where we do it independently, but then we come together on a day to discuss what it is that we have been blessed by, what it is that we have found, what's insightful to us throughout the study, and what, how the scriptures impacted us, which is always so important. And right now we're doing something from the book creator, which is called Take Up and Read. And we're doing a study called Better Together. And it just confirms so much about this topic today about how it is that we're called to love each other. We're called to love our neighbors. And in this one section, they were talking about loving our neighbor who is in our home, loving our neighbor with the first person that we start our day with. So we could come down the stairs and might have a child feeding themselves breakfast before school, and that is the first neighbor that we're to love. And then the next person could be another child that comes out of nowhere, or even a spouse, and to continue to love them as our neighbor, continue to love them as we love ourselves. As I have said many times here at Heart of Mary, that we are all about love. And so love your neighbor should just be a natural part of that. But I totally get, again, just talking about the holidays the other day, personalities, and that there are very hard people to love. But it makes such a difference if we can come up with ways to just do it in the simplest way. Something that we know in our heart that can make a difference to someone. You'd be amazed at what the littlest things can turn into something so big for someone. My friends, so my neighbors, I am going to end with this. So I just got home from a choir practice for a big Christmas choir, and I knew one person there. Actually, I knew two people there, and I don't know, there's over 100 people there, and I don't have a problem talking to anyone, which is a beautiful blessing. But I was singing, and in my singing, I wasn't feeling 100% confident because I'm still in recovery mode here, but I saw this woman kind of look out of the corner of her eye and kind of look my way, and I thought, oh gosh, did she just like give me a look? Is she thinking, like I am not strong enough or I'm not singing this right? I do that. My condition obviously causes me to do that more. And so I shared it with my friend as we had this little break. And as we went back in from break, I said to my friend, and see how I managed this situation. So I simply leaned in and spoke to the woman, and I said, hello, what's your name? What church do you go to? She was so blessed to go to this parish that was absolutely gorgeous, and went on to just tell her how great and how blessed it is that she goes to this parish. And we had a few more words, and I can say in that moment that I took to speak to my neighbor who sat two people away from me, who wasn't even thinking about me, because she expressed that she wasn't feeling confident in the music that she was singing as well. It's amazing how something, just a few words, can make such a difference. So stopping and looking in someone's eyes, smiling at someone, taking time to just say hello, or taking time to say thank you, taking time to say please, just taking time, peacefully approaching people, trying to, not trying to overthink it, just being Jesus Christ is what a good neighbor is all about. So God bless you all. Thank you for being such great neighbors to me. I love when you send me comments. They really warm my heart. You are all being a good neighbor to me in those moments. God bless you all. Have a beautiful day. Bye, everyone.